on reaction here. We're going to tell you our predictions for the Betfred Cup quarter-final games. Games are Celtic, Partick Thistle, Kilmarnock Hibs, Hearts Aberdeen.
Is it Kilmarnock?
Kilmarnock at home. Hearts Aberdeen and Livingston Rangers.
Right, let's move up a bit.
Right, so
Right,
who's starting? You want to start?
You can start, but I'll tell you the teams and you can do one and then we'll just do that. So we'll start off with Celtic, Partick Thistle. So,
I think Celtic's got to win 3-1. They didn't really perform against Dunfermline. I thought they should have got more goals. Should have won the tie easy, but with the class players they've got, or some class players, it took them 55 minutes to score. Dunfermline took it extra time, and 6 minutes before the end of extra time, Jane Forrest got a goal. So I'm not sure, but I think Celtic would win 3-1 at home.
Well, I'm saying 2-1 Partick Thistle because Partick Thistle are bigger and better than Dunfermline, right? Well, that's my opinion though. But I feel like with the way Celtic's playing and the fans are starting to finally realise that Neil Lennon will not win them 10 in a row, and the both are not good enough for the thingy, because obviously Neil Lennon still somehow nearly mucked up the league and the cup, so he nearly mucked up the treble, and if that's not an indication to think maybe he's not the right person. But the reason I'm saying 2-1 Partick Thistle is because I think Partick Thistle will go and press Celtic after they've saw the Dunfermline day. They're going to think and go, maybe we could maybe be the team that picked them out. And I've saw hundreds of tweets going like, oh, Celtic fans are putting up no cup final tickets and that, like hashtag no cup final tickets, because even they don't believe they can get there. I don't blame them, because if they do manage to get through Partick Thistle, say Aberdeen get through, yes, Aberdeen have not been playing well either, but if Aberdeen get a home draw and it's at Pittodrie, Celtic are in for a tough challenge. No, actually it's a Hampden. Wait, it'll be a Hampden, so there you go. That's even worse for Celtic, because they're not even going to be home. They're not going to get a home tie, they're going to be at Hampden. So yes, they'll probably still have more fans, so it'll probably be a home tie to them, because Aberdeen never really turned out with a lot of fans. And then as Rangers did when they beat us in the semis, we moaned last season because they got so many more, like they got the same amount of tickets, but they took a wee teensy bit out, when we could have filled up that full bit and they could have had that wee bit. But I feel like Celtic, they're not winning the treble this season. Some Rangers are going to win something, whether that's the league, the Betfred Cup. We could even win the treble, but I'm not going to go as far and say that yet, because with upsets that's happened in football, I'm not writing any small team off yet. Let me say, obviously you'll hear our predictions on that, but I just feel like we've got a squad that can play well, and I mean, but 2-1 Partick Thistle for me and 3-1 Celtic for Alan. So next we'll go with
Kilmarnock Hibs.
Kilmarnock
You go
Hibs.
yours first.
Right, Kilmarnock Hibs. I'll say 2-1 Hibs, because away from home, obviously, I think Kilmarnock have had a very, very bad season, start to the season, because obviously, well, if you look at it, they lost to us, only 2-1 last minute, right, fair enough. It looked maybe a bit bright because taking Rangers, who have a very, very good quality team, to extra time, not extra time, what the fuck, I'm actually not writing head right now. Taking us so far that we had to score a late goal, I was like, maybe they're still going to have a good season, but then they went on and got beat by Hamilton, so it was like, but then obviously they beat Hamilton, but they took them to after extra time to beat Hamilton. That's why I feel like Hibs will beat them, because even though Rangers, we beat Hibs 6-1 and we only beat Kelly 2-1, I feel like Hibs will win it, because Scott Allen's going to be a key player in that game, because he can play some, like the 6-1 game, his goal his pass to the goal was amazing. It just takes one of them at Rugby Park, and the fans will turn on the players. What about you?
Well, I'm saying Kilmarnock got to win it 3-1 after extra time. I think at the end of the game it will be 1-1, then go into extra time. Kilmarnock will score one in the first half extra time, then another one just before the end of extra time. Like you said, Kilmarnock haven't had a good season so far. It's not started off that convincingly. But I think they'll perform in the cup.
So now,
Hearts and Aberdeen.
Hearts Aberdeen. I said, on my story, I put it up on Snapchat. If it was Dundee, I was saying 3-1 Hearts. But I said 2-1 Aberdeen, if it was them versus Aberdeen. Because I feel like Aberdeen will beat them. They've not had a great start. They've done okay in Europe, so they're out now. They obviously took Dundee to extra time today and beat them. But I mean, I just feel like Aberdeen will pick themselves up for that game because it's a big game. Because they always turn up in big games. Well, that's mostly against Rangers, but I feel like they'll pick themselves up and they'll get into the semis. And
well, I'm saying Hearts will win this 2-1. It won't go to extra time. I think they'll win it in injury time of normal time. About 92nd minute, I think they'll snatch it victory.
I think it's quite funny. You've predicted all the home teams to win, and I've predicted all the away teams to win. It's only the last game that changes that, because we both went Rangers. Predicted Rangers. If it wasn't, if Rangers won then this and this was England or something,
Aye.
it would have been all the away teams for me and all the home teams. That's quite weird, because normally I would go with a mixture, but I just feel like all the away teams are better than the home teams. That's a lie. Celtic are better than Partick Thistle, but I mean, with the way Celtic's performing, you never know Partick Thistle could do it, but aye, that's, and then obviously the big game. Rangers, Livingston always give us a challenge away, like at their ground, because it's Astro. Like today, we struggled to get going because it's Astro pitch. It's hard to. You need to play for a couple of minutes. But I was getting very frustrated in that because I was. It's no good enough how we're playing. We're playing East Fife, and we were losing the ball a lot, and they were on the counter attack. But once the goal went in, it was just basically us. They had a few attacks, but the second goal went in, it just killed the tie. But I went 3-0 against Livingston because the only reason I've said 3-0 is because I think Livingston will push us, but I still think we've got the quality to get 3 goals. But I don't think we'll smash them. I mean, I've said that the same about every team. I didn't think I said like what 2-1 against Hibs and we smashed them 6-1. So I mean, anything can happen, right?
Well, East Fife did give us a challenge. I think they've done their best. They couldn't really do much. They had a good chance near the beginning of the game with, I think it was Downs.
Aye, Halliday went up for the header. Halliday went up for the header and West saved him big time.
Aye.
Wes.
Halliday had a shocker of a game.
I like Wes as a goalkeeper. I love for Dome, but I feel like Wes in these cup games could be very vital for us because we don't want to play McGregor all the time. I know he's a world class goalkeeper, but he also gets tired. So we need to kind of, because McGregor's going to be playing Europe, and he's going to be playing in the league games, majority of them, unless he gets sent off. And he's also going to be playing in thingy, what's it called, the cup, in
Scottish League Cup.
Aye, the Scottish Cup,
No,
the League Cup.
Scottish Cup.
Yeah, what I mean?
Well, Halliday had a shocker of a game. No doubt about that.
So what about you?
I'm saying Rangers 4-0. We'll score the 4 goals in the first half. Then we'll try press them in the second half, but the keeper will have a good second half, I think.
Right, so that's all for today, guys. The League of Warsaw video will be out on
Wednesday.
Well, it'll be up on the Thursday, but we'll make it on the Wednesday. But that's got to be a tough game, but you'll hear that all in that video. Cheers.